We asked and you guys answered. We have some very important behind the scenes answers on things like why is our food going bad so fast? And if you suspected it was shortages of certain things, yes, that's actually what's happening. That's why our milk is going bad so fast, why our dairy products are going bad so fast. We have a report letting us know from inside the industry why that's happening right now, and there are reasons because they're not getting some of the products that they need. Also, we have a report from within the fire extinguisher industry of why we're having issues with fire extinguishers, why there's such a backlog on fire extinguishers. If you need fire extinguishers or if you need to recharge your fire extinguishers, be aware that there is a backlog out there, and we'll be explaining why some of that is and why some of the reasons for that. Also, we have rice issues and rice shortages spreading. It is still fine in some places, but we're seeing more and more places where the rice supply is not fine. We have also a whole bunch of your reports coming from all over the place. Please do keep your reports coming. Just use the word update in response on a comment on any one of these videos on this channel, and it'll get to the right place. Welcome to the Poplar Report. I'm Steve Poplar, and on this channel we are aggregating information that you guys are providing. If you need to keep yourself a little more anonymous, you can always email me directly at poplarpreparedness@gmail.com. I can't process images because the way these videos are, we keep these videos flowing like fast, 2 videos a day, 6:15 a.m. and then usually an afternoon video, which usually drops 2:30 p.m. Eastern Standard, but sometimes it goes a little bit later, but always 6:15 a.m. And the reason for that is because usually I'm dropping a 6 a.m. Bible study. So a number of you guys know that, and you watch the Bible study, and then you come over here to this channel for the morning report. That will be starting back up this Wednesday. So if you're a watcher of that, my Bold Faith Bible channel, you can find it through the links on this channel, through the descriptions, through the channel page over to that, or you can just search Bold Faith Bible. We'll be starting the book of Genesis. So I know a lot of you are concerned about how the world is going to end, but we're going to go back to see how the world truly began. If you've never studied the Bible before, this is a great opportunity for you just to kind of listen through and see what the stories are of the Bible and how we came to be and the origins of the Israelite nation and all that kind of stuff like that. Fascinating stuff for you, whether you're a Christian or not, but obviously a great benefit to those who are believers in Jesus Christ as well, or those of the Jewish faith. So we do want to thank our sponsor before we jump in here, Genesis Gold Group. They help people who have retirement accounts get into gold, silver, and platinum. You need a trustee for that in order for it to stay a retirement account, and Genesis Gold Group does a fantastic job for that. There'll be a link at the end of the video for them. All right, so this is a viewer in Northeast Ohio. Frozen pizza and French fries have been slim pickings at Aldi and Walmart this week. And like I was just sharing on Sunday morning, that we had this, we had a lot of frozen food missing here in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania on Saturday. That was not looking good. Frozen pizzas, hopefully that does get better. I will be keeping an eye on that here, but hearing that it's over in Ohio as well. BDM says, Northeast Pennsylvania. Got my Walmart order. I had ordered 5 5-pound bags of rice. They filled the order, but mostly they filled it using 1 and 2 pound bags of rice. They were really low on the 5-pound bags. Thanks for all you do, Steve, for keeping us informed. Yeah, we're just, that's one of the things. Sometimes we share about things that are on the horizon, and people are like, that's not a problem yet. And then like weeks later or 2 months later, suddenly it's a big problem, and the same people are now seeing it like, oh, okay. We're trying to look at the horizon. If I'm not giving you, if I'm telling you what's already happened, then it doesn't do you any good, right? We have to speculate a little bit. We have to be trying to put the dots together on what's going to happen next so you have time to make actionable steps. So talking about the rice shortage, while it's still present in a lot of places, important because it's going to get a lot tighter out there. That's what everything's pointing to. That's why countries are locking down their supplies of it. They're not doing that because, you know, they're stupid. They're doing it because they see what's coming. They're looking at the numbers. They have much better numbers than we do, and they're saying this is a problem. And so that's why India, the largest exporter of rice, has locked down their supplies. So be aware of that. If you need rice, if you want rice in the near future, you might want to go out and grab it now. They've stopped all exports of rice completely, from the expensive down to the cheap. Carolyn says, I watch the Alaska Granny channel, fantastic channel. She's been stocking cans for years. She said on a video, and this is from a comment, when the comment was made today, that she believes that cans are not holding up as well as they used to. So we were discussing that here, right? Especially canned pineapple for some reason. The acid in the canned pineapple, it just eats at the cans. Tomato products can also eat at the cans, but not nearly as bad as pineapple. She rotates the pineapple more often. There was a question recently about whether or not cans are getting thinner. We discussed on this channel, right? Or not holding up as well. I trust her judgment on this and would say yes, they are not holding up as well as they used to. So yeah, she does a fantastic job over on that channel. A lot of great wisdom and a lot of good information on her channel. Once again, that's Alaska Granny if you're not already watching her. There's a couple great people out of Alaska like Rudy over there, right? Alaska Pepper. This is from Richard. My local HEB has no white rice. Hasn't in a while. But they have plenty of jasmine and basmati. But I actually like the jasmine. So that is, HEB is more down in the Texas area, so we don't have a geographical location on that, but that's kind of regionally. Texas and surrounding states is where HEB is mostly. Butch says, if you are wondering why there is a lot of dairy shortages and salad dressing shortages, look into the shortage of CO2 and titanium dioxide along with acetic acid. No wonder we can produce food. We can't produce food or it all spoils so fast. FYI, that's why I had to dump my load of milk. Okay, so let's walk through this real fast. Acetic acid is vinegar, right? Vinegar is acetic acid. Now, acetic acid is produced two primarily different ways. It's basically the same thing, but slightly different from our perspective, right? It's made from grains, or sometimes made from like apples, and then you have your apple cider vinegar, right? But what you buy on the store shelf of vinegar, white vinegar, is usually made from grains. There is also an industrial process that's made from petroleum. Now, the stuff made from petroleum you can eat. It's as long as it's done properly and they purge all the other stuff out of it, but they don't do that in the United States. So they will not sell petroleum-based acetic acid to consumers. Now, there's a lot of industrial purposes for this in farming, to cleaning, and to all sorts of stuff. They use acetic acid for all sorts of things. Now, the problem is with the petroleum and the refineries, they haven't been producing as much acetic acid as they normally do. Now, they can use the grain acetic acid for the industrial purposes, and that's what they're doing. But they pull the food grade stuff over to the industrial side to kind of make up what they need. And so what they've been doing is they've been pulling the acetic acid out of the food supply to kind of make things end up where they need to be. But the grain acetic acid is a little more expensive to make than the petroleum stuff. All right, so that, and then CO2 is mostly a byproduct of petroleum processing as well. That's where we get our CO2. Actually, I think it's the processing of natural gas. That's where we get the CO2. I'm not so familiar with titanium dioxide, but that just to give you kind of an idea. So issues with refineries is causing shortages of these items, these chemicals, and that is causing shortages and a short lifespan of a lot of these products. So apparently they're not purging the bags with CO2. That like salads and stuff like that. They try to do that, but apparently not all of them are being purged as much, which is explaining why our stuff is going bad a lot faster. All right, this is a viewer from Central PA, a more rural area. Went to Walmart, low quantities, or none in some areas of store. No GV cottage cheese for over a week. Low Green Mountain in some kinds. None in others like flavors. That's Green Mountain coffee for those of you uninitiated, or if you're down south or something. Very low on Clorox. Several bottles in GV brand. No red lentils for weeks. Some green lentils though. Rice has less of an area. Stocked with processed packages of rice sides, but less on the rice. Numerous areas have holes or very little product. Local grocery giant. Same in the bleach area, no red lentils, but some green. Prices seem to go up weekly in both places. I think this may be the worst I've seen low stock in quite a while. I say if you see something you use, get it now. This is from Miss Susie. Took a day trip north of the border to visit friends last week. So Washington State going up to British Columbia. Went to Walmart in Chilliwack, British Columbia, and there were a few, maybe 10, huge bags, 25-pound size, of rice, but no smaller bags, which is kind of inconvenient for most people, right? Most people buy in the 1 and 2 pound bags. They don't buy the 25-pounders, right? So that's definitely inconvenient for folks there. Nothing else left. So far, I've had no problems finding rice here in Washington State, though. So once again, just seeing issues forming in some places, but not other places. Lil Black Duck says, for 3 weeks, a dozen frozen, prepared, and microwavable foods I use when my back goes out for a week at a time have been out of stock. This is a strange coincidence. For 3 weeks, none of this. This is in West Central Georgia, by the way. For what it's worth, they're barbecue chicken and pork, Hungry Man dinners, Sam's stuffed crust pizza, and egg rolls, along with most frozen fruit pies. Yeah, so I mean, I know some of you are like, why don't you just make this all by your hand? And there's reasons some people are just working really long hours. Some people are working and raising kids in a single parent home. You know, there's all sorts of reasons. Some people have health issues and stuff like that. So you know, we try not to be judgy on this channel about, you know, what you're doing. And, you know, hats off and kudos to the people who are homesteading off their own property and doing everything awesome, cool, awesome, and love the YouTube channels that do that. There's a lot of folks that, you know, have some awesome channels, and they're walking the walk, and that's really cool to see. This is from a viewer. Concerning the fire extinguishers, my husband works in Michigan for a not-to-be-named national fire extinguisher company, which bought the fire extinguisher company he have worked for over 30 years. He constantly complains of equipment for repairs and new extinguishers not being available and backlogged for weeks to months from providers. So they're not getting the equipment they need in order to repair and to produce fire extinguishers. So there is a bit of a backlog out there. So if you need fire extinguishers and you find them, you might want to grab them faster rather than slower. And fire extinguishers are a huge thing to be having on hand, right? You know, we talk about SHTF situations and reasons why the whole world economy is going to come crashing down sooner or later. But one thing we know for sure is that every single year, even in good times, there are house fires, and friends, they are nasty. Having fire extinguishers, and it doesn't help you if the fire extinguisher is on the other side of the house. You need to have a fire extinguisher where you need it. One in the garage, one in the, one in the kitchen. You know, you just need to have fire extinguishers in good places. That's just a huge thing. Just fire safety is huge, and especially if power goes out. When power goes out, more fires happen. So, and more people die from carbon monoxide. Having carbon monoxide detectors, good smoke detectors, and fire extinguishers, huge thing that saves lives, friends. PDK Race says, Phoenix update. Holes all over the store. 3 large bags of rice, low on bag onions, and pasta was very low. So apparently small bags of rice in Phoenix were kind of short there too. This is from Amber, Sam's Club. Jasmine rice has now changed from a limit of 2 per purchase to a limit of 2 per membership. That says a lot to me. Upping my stocking game. Thank you, Steve, for your hard work, bringing us the truth. God be with you, my friend. Appreciate that, and thank you guys all so much for your reports. If you want to get some more information from Genesis Gold, there's a link right here. If you fill out the form, they'll send you a packet of information. If you want to check out another video on this channel, there's one right up here. I'll see you over there, or I'll see you guys later. Steve Poplar of the Poplar Report, out.